Who are the New Conservatives? Well, they're a group of mainly red wall Tories who've banded together, aiming to shape Tory policy ahead of the next election. Who is in the group? Well, it's made up of 25 Tory MPs, but the main members are Lee Anderson, Miriam Cates, Jonathan Gullis, Danny Kruger, Brendan Clark-Smith and Leah Nietzsche. Remind me again of those names? Lee Anderson.
A budgeted course and a cooking course, and what we do at the food bank, we show them how to cook cheap and nutritious meals on a budget. We can make a meal for about 30 pence a day.
Tory lies cost people's lives. Got anything to say for yourself?
Miriam Cates.
It's a hugely complex issue, but I think it's just extraordinary how in probably fewer than 10 years we've gone from, almost everybody agreeing that there are only two sexes, you're male or female, boys or girls, that's pretty much the end of it, to this kind of rampant ideology that is now so embedded in schools that we think at least 80% of schools now have children who have a trans or non-binary or whatever you want to call it identity.
The Jonathan Gullis.
Can't get to hospital, the patients can't get their operation, the kids will miss out on their education today, but also those armed forces veterans who risk their lives for our freedoms who won't be able to celebrate Armed Forces Day on Saturday.
Do you want to apologise for all that, Mick?
Well, I think Jonathan should apologise for talking nonsense. None of that is true. That is just stuff that's written in Conservative Central Office for backbench MPs to spout along with their ministers.
Mick. Okay, so no sorry to
I
veterans.
don't want this disruption. Fine. I don't want people to be
good to know veterans
inconvenienced, and I want a settlement to this dispute. I can't do that with a backbench MP who's just learned it off a script.
Danny Kruger.
7 years ago, our country made a pledge to itself to restore and renew the basis of our politics, to reconnect the government with the people, and to make the British Parliament once again the sole source of our laws.
In say the price is shot up at that and people say, this tin has gone up by 50% or whatever, buy the Tesco value.
Yeah, if Jack Monroe or Martin Lewis gives this advice, they're seen as saints for it, but it's evil Conservative politicians, Lee, baked bean brenners have been called now.
I've got good news for you, Brandon. We're going to do the baked bean test today. We've got some top brand baked beans, some supermarket and another cheaper brand. So what we're going to do, close your eyes, I'm going to mix them up. Open your mouth.
Okay.
Here comes a train. What do you think of that one?
Well, they're cold. I'm not coming back to this pub.
Let's just be honest here. We talk about honesty and integrity. The deputy shadow leader decided it would be amusing to open her legs in the chamber and then brag to everybody that actually it was male members of the opposite party who had been looking at her, and she was drinking on the terrace and laughing about it.
So what are their policies?
Because actually this is a new group. Immigration is one of the things you're talking about, but you're really trying to show that the Tories still have some ideas even after 13 years in government.
Yes, so we're a group of MPs who've been elected since 2016, and in that time I think people have voted 4 times for a mandate to reduce migration, and it was one of our key pledges.
Actually, they have a 10-point policy, all based around immigration, as follows. Closing temporary schemes that grant work visa eligibility for care workers and senior care workers. Raising the minimum income required to gain a skilled work visa. Extending the closure of the student dependent route. Closing the graduate route to students. Reserving university study visas for the brightest international students. Monitoring the reduction in visa applications under the humanitarian schemes. Implementing the provisions of the illegal migration bill rapidly. Capping the number of refugees legally accepted for resettlement in the UK. Raising the minimum combined income threshold for sponsoring a spouse and raising the minimum language requirement. Capping the amount of social housing that councils may assign to non-UK nationals. The New Conservatives, a bucket full of scum. Click here for a song about Sunak.